that. Now, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, has revoked dozens of security clearances, including for former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, New York Attorney General Letitia James, New York City District Attorney Alvin Bragg, as well as the 51 intelligence officials who lied and signed the Hunter Biden disinformation letter. Gabbard also blocked them from accessing classified information, while Joe Biden will no longer receive daily intelligence briefings. You're on the Intelligence Committee. What do you make of it? What are they losing by this?
Well, what they're losing, look, it's completely appropriate. It's obvious they have abused the privilege. Not everybody gets a national security clearance just so they can have it. It's expensive to own. The government has to pay for that. And what they use it for is to go out and make more money by having contracts with people and businesses that need people with top secret security clearance and connections. They use it to grift. They use it just to make money. They're not there using it to make the United States more safe or better. They're using it to parlay themselves into making more money, and they have shown themselves to have abused the privilege. And once you abuse the privileges, they must be revoked. It's a slap in the face for everybody that maintains the right standards of decorum and lawfulness and doesn't abuse those privileges and use it as propaganda or something like that in a partisan fashion. That's not what's national. You're supposed to be focused completely on national security, not partisan witch hunts where you use it to go after the people and the party that you disagree with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we've lived it all. We've watched it all happen in the last few years. Congressman.
Boy. So we got to talk about one of the first major moves from Tulsi Gabbard that I absolutely love, okay, as she is the new Director of National Intelligence. She has decided to revoke the security clearances of Democrat activists and Biden operatives.
Former President Joe Biden's top national security officials and legal figures who played roles in cases against President Donald Trump are now locked out of classified information. National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard announced Monday she revoked security clearances for former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, and former Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco. Gabbard barred New York Attorney General Letitia James and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg from accessing classified information. James led the civil fraud case against Trump, while Bragg prosecuted Trump in the hush money trial, securing a felony conviction. The move follows an executive order from Trump, who accused them of misleading the public and engaging in political coordination against him. Gabbard also revoked the clearance of attorney Mark Zaid, who represented a government whistleblower in Trump's first impeachment case. Zaid criticized the decision, calling it a violation of due process, punishing legal professionals for holding the administration accountable. Trump's order also targeted officials who signed a 2020 letter suggesting Russia may have been involved in amplifying the Hunter Biden laptop story. He accused them of election interference and directed Gabbard to investigate others in and outside government for what he called inappropriate activity. In another break from precedent, Gabbard said the president's daily brief will no longer be shared with Biden. The Trump administration framed the move as a national security measure, while critics see it as political retaliation.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard decided, you know what, Sleepy Joe, you don't need to see the president's daily briefing anymore, right? You're good, which I 100% agree with. I mean, what is Joe Biden reading? Okay, why does he need any information? He doesn't need anything, right? Joe Biden doesn't need any information at all. He wouldn't know how to interpret it. He doesn't know what's going on. So he's good. Okay. Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, they don't need classified information either, right? In fact, none of these Biden officials need any type of security clearance because ultimately, at the end of the day, like, they're not a part of the government. It's not necessary, okay, for our national security. If anything, it just helps these people out in the private sector, right? These people get these security clearances, and when they leave office, when they leave their government positions, they use their security clearances in order to grift, right? To go into the private sector and to get jobs they otherwise wouldn't get because they have these security clearances, okay? So President Trump has said, you know what? No. You're done, right? You're done making money off of the government, okay? Go find another job, right? Go do something else. And, one security clearance that got revoked, I found to be especially fascinating. Norm Einstein, who is an individual that currently is waging lawfare against President Trump. Okay, this guy has been waging lawfare against President Trump for the longest time now. Okay, and I think it's about time that the Trump administration start to fight back against these lunatics.
Then he started attacking the rule of law left and right. And I'm litigating all these cases, fair disclosure. Oh, I don't. The Constitution says that people born here are citizens. Oh, no. I say what the Constitution is, not what everybody has always agreed, pick and choose. The court stopped him. I just got a preliminary injunction in that case. Oh,
That's great. Congratulations.
The identities of all Americans that are in the Treasury system. I'm going to send a bunch of young hackers from Doge into the Treasury systems to pour over that legally protected information. I got an order in that case. Oh, the FBI, their names are protected by the Privacy Act and the Constitution. Never mind that. I'm going to publish 6,000 FBI agents and personnel who worked on the January 6th case. I got a court order on that. And on and on and on and on. I probably worked on 10 cases. I just filed another one. They got into the Office of Personnel Management. They're pouring over, the Doge is pouring over these records. They have no right to these records. So the story is shock and awe, like never before seen in American history. You can't describe it as a presidency. It's a crime wave. But the flip side of that is that rule of law, the courts, civil society, democracy activists, thousands of people just like me. Fortunately, there's not too many that are just like me, but thousands of colleagues, have joined in. And the shock and awe of democracy has been greater than Trump's illegalities. And last point, he's complaining about it. He and all his cronies are bitter. So we've come full circle to attacking the law, which is how he started his presidency.
Yeah, so this individual got his security clearance revoked by Tulsi Gabbard. And so now his gravy trade, right, and being able to make money off of the security clearance has come to an end, right, as he currently wages lawfare against the president of the United States. And now he's on CNN boohoo, whining, and crying, right? That is what he's doing. So without further ado, let's get into it.
In multiple cases challenging the administration, we mentioned your security clearance getting pulled. But by the way, does anyone notify you, or did you just hear that through Tulsi Gabbard's, announcement?
My phone started blowing up. Look at Tulsi Gabbard's tweet. And Anderson, President Trump had said he was going to do this several weeks ago, right after we secured a court order in one of our cases at Democracy Defenders, protecting thousands of FBI agents from retaliation for working on January 6 cases. So you really have to see this as a kind of a backhanded compliment. We're working on over a dozen cases, and we've gotten those orders in many of the cases in response to illegal behavior by the administration. And this is more retaliation. Plenty of lawyers are going to stand up to it.
And Aaron, in terms of the retaliation, it's revoking security clearances. What else?
There are also firms that work with big companies that have government contracts, and Trump is asking to investigate those government contracts and potentially revoke them. Which
wow, so not related to the case they're working on, just any government contract this firm may have.
Right. I mean, if you read the executive orders, it's very clear that the firms are being targeted, not the work they're doing necessarily. Even the one about Jack Smith is about the firm being the problem. Wow. And the second was much more sweeping. It called for investigations into DEI practices, revoking of government contracts. You mentioned access to federal buildings. It's written a little broadly, so it's not clear if that means federal courthouses. And the second law firm, Perkins Coie, has said that they see it as patently unlawful, the move, and they will challenge.
And Norm,
so I want you guys to understand what's happening here, right? You have all these liberal law firms that are living off the government, right? That's what they're doing. Okay, they get access to government buildings, they get government funding, okay, they get all this stuff, And President Trump is like, okay, you know what? We're no longer going to be funding these liberal law firms, okay? Because a lot of these law firms have engaged in lawfare against the president, okay, in order to try to keep him out of office. And ultimately, that's what these people are upset about, right? That's what they're upset about the most when you talk about Doge. What they're mad about is the fact that the cronies, okay, these liberals who, again, are living off the government, okay, through their connections, getting these contracts that they otherwise wouldn't get to basically do nothing. The money is coming to an end, right? The government money is coming to an end, and that's what they're freaking out about the most. That's why they don't like Elon Musk going through the receipts, going through the payments, because you're going to find out that, hey, a lot of these liberal activists on television, right, like Norm Einstein, okay, they're getting money funneled to them, right, through the government, right? And then they're taking that money and then they're turning around and they're using it to push propaganda or to engage in lawfare against the president. So again, President Trump is basically stopping that. Okay, he's stopping that gravy train, and that's what they're upset about. That's what they're mad about. Okay.
I mean, for you, this feels like, I mean, administrations have had contentious relationships, with law firms in the past, but this feels like they're pulling levers which have not been pulled before.
Anderson, it's illegal. It's a violation of the Constitution. The first time they try to keep me out.
Really, bro? Really? It's a violation of the Constitution to say, hey, you can't have a security clearance anymore. I don't know what these people think, but they really believe that the executive should have no power whatsoever, right? I mean, like, come on. They don't think the executive should be able to mass fire employees that technically work under him, right? They don't think that the executive should be able to rein in spending for organizations, for entities, for agencies that are under the executive branch, right? They really want a powerless president. Oh, no, you can't revoke my security clearance. That's illegal, right? I'm like, what's illegal about that? If they feel like you should have it or that it's unnecessary, then I feel that it should be the discretion of the executive branch to decide who can get it and who can't. Again, it's amazing how this works, right? They really believe that the president should have zero power whatsoever.
Out of a courthouse will be right in front of a judge within minutes. I guarantee you that judge will have me in the courthouse. You have to understand it in a pattern, Anderson. Donald Trump said he was going to be a dictator on day one. The essence of dictatorship is breaking the law, and these unconstitutional
what's illegal
actions,
about this?
Nothing.
Well, it violates First Amendment, freedom of speech. There's no due process at all. It cuts off my client's right to counsel if I need, and I do, security clearances to represent clients. This won't hold up in court, just like so many others of Donald Trump's actions.
Listen to this guy. Listen, nothing he said there is proof that this is illegal. He's worried about his money, right? His money is drying up. That's what he's worried about. He's freaking out because his money is dried up. That's what it is, guys. That's what all of this is about. That's what these people are freaking out about. This is why this guy is suing left and right in order to stop Doge, because he knows that Doge is discovering that these people are getting money funneled to them by the government in different ways, okay? Again, the security clearance is one of them in which they grift off of that. They use that in order to make money. That's what they're upset. They're upset that their money is being turned off. That's what it is.
Illegal spending freezes. Mr. Elon Musk and Doge pawing over personal data, the firing of those FBI agents. I'll be in court this week on an illegal firing of tens of thousands of probationary employees. We've gotten order after order from the courts, myself and our partners, cutting that off. Yes, you need lawyers and law firms to bring those cases, but the retaliation won't work. Perkins Coie got one of the best firms in the country to represent them. And I think you're going to see some law firms will be scared, but many attorneys are going to take this as a backhanded compliment. Anderson, you know what? I'm doubling down, and so are my colleagues at Democracy Defenders.
I heard a number of firms turn down, I think Perkins Coie initially, but they do have a very good law firm now representing them. Ambassador Norm Eisen, appreciate it. Aaron Mulvaney as well. Thanks so much.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. He's mad that his security clearance being revoked is going to make it harder for him to make money. Again, it's one big grift, guys. It's one big grift off the government, and President Trump is ending it, and these people are losing their minds, right? They're losing their minds. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.